Hi, everyone. Madeline Di Nonno, President and CEO of the Geena Davis Institute on Gender and Media. I am so honored to be joined by the extraordinary Jodie Comer, Nicole Holofcener, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you because this story would have been lost. And this would have been one more unsung heroine that we would never know about if you hadn't decided to make this story. And it's a very important story. So Jodie, I want to turn over to you. Can you talk about your contribution, your partnership? Can you just explain that, for our audience?
I was just so enamored by her and felt so empowered when playing her. And I love the fact that the team wanted to approach this in the way of giving her a voice and giving her the space to tell her story. And ultimately the truth of what happened.
Jacques Legree entered our home. He attacked me.
What happened to me is wrong.
I request a duel to the death.
He will answer for what he has done.
I really understood that there was a huge duty of care when approaching this role, because there are many people who will watch this film who have experienced something similar.
Yeah, the more we learned about that time, the more incredible what she did was, She just was she was put under intense pressure, and she spoke the truth to power and to an ever-widening circle over and over and over again under incredible duress, at risk to herself, to her name, to being shamed, to eventually to like standing in front of the king and all of France and basically saying, I am telling the truth. And you go like, this woman was incredible. And that's, when you find a character like that, it's like, I couldn't believe I'd never heard of this woman before. And we were like, wow, this is somebody you make a movie about.
And we also knew that we needed help. It was quite clearly about like the fully realized life of a woman at a time when that was so thoroughly ignored. And we just felt like, yes, we could try to do that and do a passable version, but we knew we needed a really extraordinary writer and someone who had the experience of being a woman to help us tell that story. And we were very lucky in that we got like the best of both worlds, was a woman and the best writer in Nicole.
And they asked me to join them, and I knew they told me it was in 3 parts, and would I write this last part? And I was thrilled and flattered and excited, and I learned from them, and we had a good time writing it. It was very moving, and I was very honored to have the opportunity to write about Marguerite and what she went through, because nobody knows anything about her. And now people do.
I think sometimes there is a danger when you do period films to think that they thought in a completely different way. Like, the women are no less outraged than they are today. It was just in those times, in those moments, their lives were at risk if they spoke out and spoke the truth, So really just understanding that kind of danger that she was up against. I was so kind of bewildered when I read about the event and how much history there was, that there was so little about her.
And Nicole, I'd love for you to also expound what it was like, working, with Jodie. I know you have deep respect for each other, worked really intensely together. How was that process?
It was wonderful. I didn't know Jodie. I watched her on TV and loved Killing Eve, and was thrilled to find out she was cast in this part. And you listen to good actors, and so it was a good opportunity to hear her thoughts about what she was saying and how things might be better or worse. And also it was just, there are a lot of guys on this set, and so we kind of bonded in that female way, just kind of sticking together and watching out for each other. And I want to work with you again and again and again.
For our audience, a lot of women, a lot of, young girls will be watching. Is there a big takeaway or any other message that you want to convey, to our audience?
Well, you guys.
It was evident that Lady Marguerite was the heart and that was the story. It was what makes the story spectacular and moving and compelling is her bravery, her determination, her courage, her humanity, that it was how afraid she must have felt. And I think, great stories inspire us in part because we look at these characters and think, God, how could somebody do that and be so strong. And when it's a true story and you know it really did happen, it's even more fascinating.
Oh, John, no, this is not what I want.
Now she's questioning him,
Not what you want.
and she's suddenly grown in her stature. This scene has become about her dominance.
When we hear, I spoke the truth, when we hear, I will not be silenced, this doesn't sound like a 14th century feminist heroine survivor. This is something we hear or we see in our social media feeds every day.
I didn't think I could write that way.
Why?
Only because of that.
Why? Because I don't talk like my lady and my lord. And although I was very excited that those same curse words we use now were used then, so I could do that.
This movie at its heart has to reflect the truth of this woman's story. And in that sense, it's really about broadly generating compassion and empathy. There is also another aspect of it that Matt and I and Nicole really hoped we could accomplish, although we knew it was ambitious, which is also, you know, for men to watch it and to think to themselves, like, have I always seen people, in particular women, as they are, as they see themselves? The trick is to get a brilliant actress and let her imbue the role with such evident humanity that you're just drawn in. That's, I think, the most profound effect.
I just hope that I gave her her sense of justice in some way.
Also, your institute helped us. I mean,
And yes, we're grateful to
we
you
wanted to
guys.
get things right. We didn't want anybody to feel exploited or that it was such a touchy subject that we came to you guys for help, and you were very helpful.
At every step too,
Yeah.
not like from the screenplay to the watching cuts of the movie, which was incredibly helpful to us. And I think this was made with a lot of care and sensitivity, and hopefully that comes across.
I hope she's looking down on us and thinking we did an okay job.
I know.
Thank you for bringing this story to life, for bringing Lady Marguerite to life, for giving her a voice in the 21st century, and now a story that we can share. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Great.
you.
Glad you feel that way. Thank you.
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth.